Hello everyone, it's the Urban Window Farmer. I just wanted to give you guys an update on the Martian Tower Garden. I'm going to start from the bottom here. So the bottom is mostly cucumber plants, as we discussed before in previous videos. It's mostly the Chicago pickling cucumber. Most of these leaves here at the bottom are from that plant. I do have a squash over here, and that one has been flowering, but I haven't got any fruit from it yet. But the Chicago pickling cucumber, I've already harvested around 3 times, and I keep getting more cucumbers. If you see here, these, if I can get this to, there you go, right there, should be able to see that. So tons of those little small ones, and it takes about a few days for them to get larger. This one's a little bit bigger, and then once it gets large enough, I just harvest them. I don't let them start turning red. So yeah, the bottom is mostly that. This is another squash right here, and I don't know. Actually, I don't know what this is, so we'll figure out pretty soon. But so far, tons of cucumbers have I've been getting, but no squash yet. Okay, and then down here I also have bok choy, and this I harvest a lot for dinner. There's a little bit of dill here as well. Okay, so moving on. If you look here, this is a mustard green. Okay, tasty, has a special flavor to it. Good for salads or stir fries. Okay, up here it's another squash, but okay, this one, if you look here, this is what it looks like, and I think the next step will be that I'll get a squash coming off here. This is higher up in the tower, so it's getting more sunlight. Like I said before, this side of the tower is western facing, and the west only gets partial light. So I'm not sure this is the best situation, especially for the ones that are down here. Okay, the ones down here, flowers, but no fruit. Up here, I think this one's looking a little bit better. I may succeed with this one. Okay, yeah. All right, moving on. Let's talk about this basil. Okay, so yeah, if you like basil, purple basil, I got a ton of it right here. Okay, and it is flowering. The bees seem to love it. It attracts the bees. The bees feed off of the, I guess, the nectar in these flowers here, and they help pollinate my other stuff. So I have, you know, a lot of other things that need to be pollinated, like, for instance, the squash that we talked about, and the cucumbers, and the tomatoes, and other stuff. But it seems like this purple basil attracts a lot of bees, and I get a lot of it. Okay, I may start drying some of this out, because to be honest, I don't know what to do with all this basil. I cook with it, but not frequently enough to justify this large plant right here that I have here, guys. All right, so next we have this, I think I told you guys the name of this before, but I can't think of it right now, but it's purple lettuce, and this one is probably my favorite lettuce when it comes to taste. It's a little bit dark. If I can get this, I'll hit it from another angle, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, and then the beans. Okay. Again, this side of the tower doesn't get so much light, but the beans are starting to come. I do notice with the beans though, sometimes the leaves do this, and I don't really like that. I like green leaves, but as long as we're making beans here, I'm fine with it. Okay. Okay, and then we talked at great lengths about passion fruit, and there it goes. Okay. Alright, coming around here, romaine lettuce. Again, this is another situation where I have too much and I'm not harvesting it fast enough, and that causes it to flower. But in my opinion, romaine lettuce the taste doesn't change too much when it flowers. Okay. The other lettuce variety that I have, like this black seed lettuce, when it flowers down here, the taste changes totally, and it's a little bit too bitter for me, so I usually just give it to the rabbits in the neighborhood. Okay. So another kind of basil right here. This is the green basil. And again, another situation where there's just too much of it. So if you live in Chicago and you need some basil for your spaghetti, leave a comment down below and I'll try to get you some basil. Okay? If you live in Chicago, I can't ship it. Or I don't know how to ship it. Alright. So right here we have collard green, and if you look, this collard green is huge. Alright? I don't think I've ever, well actually I did try to grow them down here in soil, and I'm not getting this kind of result. Okay? Now these are some huge collard greens, right? It just keeps growing and growing. It almost looks like an elephant's ear, in my opinion. All right. So that is the collard green. If you compare it once again, this versus growing in a soil down here, it's like night and day. You would think it's a different plant, basically. You would be like, that's not the same plant. Don't lie to me. All right. Right here we have, okay, this is a tomato. And I have, because I like this kind of tomato, I have some already here. This is like I think they call it yellow pear cherry tomato. Yellow pear cherry tomato, yeah. But this one I just started a few weeks ago in the tower, and it looks strong. If you could see the stem, I don't know if I can let you see it because my camera doesn't necessarily zoom the way it needs to, but the stem is very thick, so it looks very healthy, and smells good. Alright, and then this is that side of the tower where I don't have that much room on my balcony here, so I can't really show it to you the way that I can see it. But this is western facing, so this is the west. Okay, so it gets a lot of light, so it just hits the tower, boom. No, sorry, not western. This is eastern. This is eastern facing light right here. So the sun comes up in the morning on top of these buildings here, hits the tower, okay, and these things, it just grows like crazy. All right, so this side is much more dense. The foliage of the plants is much more dense than this side. Okay, plants need light. Okay, this side isn't, I would say it still looks good though, but you can still see some white spots. You see the white spots in the tower. On this side you don't see the white spots because it's basically all full. Alright. So yeah, this is that romaine lettuce, okay? It looks like I know what I'm doing, but I just threw it in there. So I don't, but, and then this is the, I told you the mustard green that I like so much. Much bigger on this side than on this side over here, okay? It's much thicker. And then I was cooking a butternut squash and there was tons of seeds and I decided to throw it in there in the tower. So this is, I think this is that butternut squash that I threw in there. So I'll be curious to see how that goes. And this is the bottom. It doesn't get as much light down here because this stuff is blocking it, but we have passion down here. This passion, and then this huge thing. I don't know what it is, but some kind of squash or maybe a pumpkin. I don't know what it is, but it's growing, and it is kind of. There's some sections of it over there next to my mint, but it's coming. It's all coming from the tower. Okay. So. Yeah, so that's an update. What I want to try to start seeing is I want to see my squash. I haven't seen any squash come yet, because that would be impressive to look at. Like I said, a lot of cucumbers, a lot of peppers. I've been harvesting a lot of peppers. I haven't really talked about peppers much. There's the peppers there. Jalapenos. Some other kind of pepper up here. How can I get this better light for you guys? Because it's so dense, it's hard to, the cameras, I guess they're not advanced enough. This is a Sony for you guys to see what I'm seeing. I think there's some more peppers somewhere, because I took some off earlier when I was making my pepper video. Oh yeah, in here. You see that? That's peppers. Yeah. So there's a few varieties of peppers in here. Maybe one day I'll do a video just about peppers in the tower, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on things as they are. And one last thing to mention, this thing has been very thirsty lately, maybe because of all the big plants, but I've been filling up this bucket, and it has a pump. Whenever the tower gets below a certain amount, it automatically tops it off. So it goes from this bucket into the tower, the reservoir inside the tower. So I've been filling this thing up once every like 3 days. It used to be like once a week, but you know, more plants, I guess it's more thirsty, so it's a little bit hot these days as well. So alright, so that's the update. And if you do like this kind of content, please do me one favor and hit that subscribe button, because that would be great. Alright, thanks everyone for watching. This is the Urban Window Farmer.